Now, from the 810 zone, it's Fantasy Football with Brian McCray and Clay Jensen.
Are we on? All right. It is Fantasy Football Wednesday, Week 13, the final week of most regular seasons for Fantasy Football. If you're playing in Week 17, talk to your commissioner. He shouldn't be playing in Week 17. So, yeah, usually we have this is the last week. And this basically gets you into the playoffs, or you can play spoiler and keep that person you don't like in the league out, maybe playing against them. I'm playing against the second best team right now. I'm in third right now. I need to beat this guy by 73 points in order to take the second spot and give myself a first week bye in the playoffs. Probably is not going to happen.
Doesn't sound like it.
But if I can put the points up I did last week, ay caramba. 179 points I put up. That's
Nice.
Yeah, Jordan was saying save some for the playoffs, which is probably true because my guy, they won't go. I had Josh Gordon, Fitzgerald, Antonio Brown, Sean Moreno, Colin Kaepernick actually showed up and threw three touchdowns and threw for over 200 yards against the Redskins. But hey, still is a good day. Yeah,
Take it, right?
Yeah, I'll take it away and get. I lost to you.
Yeah, you did.
Do you realize by how many points?
No, I don't remember.
It was 2.14, something crazy like that.
129 something to 126 something, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was 2 point something points. It wasn't even 3 points.
I was watching it. Kaepernick almost took it from me. If I'd have
Ridiculous.
lost, I probably would have been out of the playoffs. Now I at least have a shot still.
Do I have a shot?
Yeah, we're all tied with the same record. I just have more points than the rest of the division.
I know I'm 6-6.
So am I.
Ugh, it's ugly. It's ugly. So at least I'll get Marshawn Lynch back this week.
Yes.
Now, if I had Marshawn Lynch going against you, if I had Seattle's defense going against you, might have actually won.
Yeah.
Might have.
I'll take it, though, personally.
Sometimes better be looking the good folks. All right, tomorrow night's, I should say tomorrow day's games. It is Thanksgiving tomorrow. Happy Thanksgiving to all of you. If you have any questions, you can go on to Facebook, 810WHBTV.com. That's where we're at online. If you're missing the show, you can check it out there. And hashtag 810 Fantasy Football. All right, so the games tomorrow. First one's coming up at 11:30 Central Time. It's the Green Bay Packers versus the Detroit Lions. Packers one game back at Detroit, and they basically need to win to have any shot whatsoever of making the playoffs. So there are some 5 and 6 teams that are still alive in both conferences. So Matt Flynn looks like he'll probably be the quarterback this week.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's starting there. Rodgers is out.
I haven't heard they announced. I know Rodgers is out, and most likely, they'll go to him. Tolzien
I saw Flynn was starting. I believe.
Tolzien had a rushing touchdown through an interception, and it looked bad for most of it. So they brought in Matt Flynn, and he did pretty well. A lot of people benching, from what I saw right now, Packers receivers. I think that's ridiculous. I mean, yeah, Detroit is very bad. They give up the fifth most yards, I should say, to the pass. So, and
average 25.2 yards.
Yeah,
or points per game against that defense.
You can't run on Detroit really. So I'm not seeing a big game from Eddie Lacy, but Boykin I think will be good. Jones will have a good day. Along with Jordy Nelson. So, and if you're desperate, Matt Flynn is playing quarterback. Usually the Packers roast Detroit. I don't think Detroit's won on Thanksgiving for a long time. Back, I think, when Barry Sanders was eating a turkey drumstick. Last time I remember, that's when Madden was still doing games, and it's probably a good thing he's not anymore. We do want Barry Sanders back, not so much Madden. So,
would you suggest Flynn or Fitzgerald then?
Yikes. Bills playing. Oh no, they're playing Atlanta, aren't they? Yeah, Bills. The Bills are playing Atlanta, I believe. Yes, and that game is in Toronto. It's not even in Buffalo. It's in Toronto, across the river, if you will. They're gonna be in Canada. Yeah, it's a good matchup for Fitzgerald. I think it's probably gonna be a high score. I think the Lions are more likely to put points up than the Falcons so much. So
Flynn probably.
Yeah, I'd probably go with Flynn on that one. For Detroit, I don't know. Packers, they got the 23 defense against for yardage anyways, so they're ranked 20, so they're kind of down there, but
they're giving up 24 points a game though.
Yeah, I think you're safe starting. Of course, Calvin Johnson. He always has a huge game on Thanksgiving, so which is unfortunate because I'm going against
And if memory serves,
Calvin
he
Johnson
usually
this week.
kills the Packers as well.
Yeah. So
What
hopefully, all the attention goes to Calvin Johnson. He does nothing. And Nate Burleson, who was a great pickup if you grabbed him. He was a good play last week. I don't think he's going to get as much, but I think, Johnson's going to get his or whatever, but, someone else is going to have to catch some passes, I think, from Matthew Stafford. So I think Stafford's a good play, Johnson's a good play. Burleson, maybe a flex or a wide receiver 3, and Reggie Bush.
Yeah.
I think he'll do all right. Nothing amazing, but I think he'll be fine. It's not like he's playing Chicago or Atlanta. So, moving to the 3:30 game, it is the Oakland Raiders at the Dallas Cowboys. What do you like about this one? Anything?
Dallas.
Dallas. I think Rashad
could be a shootout.
Rashad Jennings could have a good game. Dallas is really bad against the run. Give it the third most yardage to running back. So, Darren McFadden might be playing in this game, but he's not really going to.
Doesn't matter.
They're going to ease him back in, basically. So, he'll get some, but I think Rashad Jennings is probably a really good play here. And against the pass, Cowboys give up the second most yards in the pass. So,
not loving Austin/Williams. Take your pick there. I'm not loving them.
Yeah, Terrence Williams.
Yeah. Or Austin, whichever one you.
Yeah, and once Austin's back now, I had Terrence Williams. I rode him for a while. Once Austin came back, he's kind of been on my bench.
Yeah, me too.
And I almost actually dropped him this week. So if somebody else wants to pick him up, great. But not expecting too much. Raiders actually have a pretty good defense. I think Cowboys might start getting up in this one a little bit, which is going to cause. Who is their quarterback now? It's not Terrell Pryor. It's for the Raiders.
Mick something, I can't remember how it's pronounced.
Yeah, Mick he did pretty good his first one out.
McCoy, I think.
Yeah, he could do something against Dallas, but don't expect too much. I think the Cowboys are going to be
expecting anything out of DeMarco Murray.
Yeah, I don't know. The Raiders pretty good up front. Still a little banged up, but
he doesn't get a ton of carries. 15, 20 maybe. Seems like they've realized he's going to have to not have that many carries, or he's just going to be back on the bench.
Yeah, you're starting Des Bryant, you're starting Jason Witten, Romo, of course, and for the Raiders, I go with Rashard Jennings and maybe more if you're desperate at the wide receiver position. Final game for Thursday, it's going to be the Pittsburgh Steelers at the Baltimore Ravens. Not expecting a high-scoring game. Both these defenses pretty good.
Yeah.
But good things could come for Torrey Smith. I think he's a good play. Was it Ike Taylor? I think they got burned by Josh Gordon and the Cleveland Browns last week. I think Ike Taylor was on him for most of it. So I do believe that Torrey Smith, granted he's not going to get 224 yards and 14 catches or whatever, but
I don't love him because he's kind of dependent on us if he gets a touchdown or not.
Yeah, but he gets the targets, he gets the catches, so PPR leagues is good, and I think he at least finds the end zone once.
Probably
Ray Rice, you're not probably playing him at all. Ray Rice is just he got good carries, but didn't really do too much with them. So he's probably right in your bench this week. If you have there's nobody on the bye anymore. All the byes are over, so you should have a full list. There are some running backs that are banged up, but I'm sure there's some better options out there than Ray Rice. But if you're desperate, you might have to play him. But I think he's no more than a flex play this week. In that.
Yeah.
Anybody else for the Steelers or Ravens?
What do you think of Big Ben? He's not passing a lot. He's doing a little bit better, but the last 3 weeks he's only had 18, 29, and 22 attempts.
Yeah, but he's
not many.
Got to make him count though when he needs to. But yeah, there's against the Ravens. I think he'll do fine. He's got some decent receivers out there. Emmanuel Sanders and Brown.
I don't think I'd start him in anything except maybe a number 2 quarterback role though.
Fitzpatrick or Big Ben?
Fitz.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it the Ravens and Steelers? You never know what's going to happen in that game, though.
They're calling for a low-scoring game, so we'll have to see what happens there. All right, moving into the Sunday games, it's the Jacksonville Jaguars taking on my 4-7 Cleveland Browns. Cleveland very good on defense, 4th-ranked defense for total yards allowed. They do give the fifth fewest passes, so you're not really liking too much Cecil Shorts in this one.
No.
MJD might have a decent game. But Cecil's probably on your bench. You're probably going to be going against Joe Hayden for most of the game. And he's not like, Cecil Shorts is some big-time receiver. He's their best receiver, I guess, but I don't see anything happen in the passing game. So,
not either.
MJD's probably your only play on Jacksonville. For the Browns, Josh Gordon, he's unbenchable, but they're going against Jacksonville also, who gives up the third most points total. They're not very good against the rush. I think they're better against the pass, but against the rush, they give it the fourth most against the run. So Ogbonnaya could have a good game here. That's Ogbonnaya. Yes, not Ogbonnaya. Ogbonnaya. Might have a nice game here, but they've been working a couple of running backs in there as well. But I think Ogbonnaya probably get the most carries. So he should be decent there for you. And, yeah, Josh Gordon. Jordan Cameron would be good, too, as well. I think he's a good play.
Who's QB this week?
Whedon's going to be their quarterback, yeah. So he could be nice also, but no, the Browns need to do too much against Jacksonville to finish this one off. So I like the Browns this week. And their skill position players. Tennessee Titans taking on the Indianapolis Colts. Andrew Luck. He has looked horrible. Awesomely horrible.
He hasn't looked great, but I believe this is at home for him, right?
It is that.
He is 11-6 touchdown to INTs this year at home.
11-6 though. 6 is a bad number. Once Reggie Wayne went out, though, they started really struggling.
That's over 5 games though at home.
Yeah.
So could be worse.
Colby Fleener might be a good play this week. They seem to be putting a lot of guys on T.Y. Hilton, kind of getting him out of there. So Colby Fleener's kind of been reaping the rewards as far as that goes. Andrew Luck, I don't know. You're probably not really playing him. The Titans are pretty good on defense, but you know. He's kind of struggled lately. I like Fitzpatrick more than Luck as far as fantasy points this week. Colts they're starting to give up a lot of points through the air. So, my boy Tony Richardson. How about him?
Trent Richardson.
Trent Richardson. Okay. Sorry, yes, Trent Richardson. And yeah,
I don't trust him.
What about is it Brown? Right.
Donald Brown,
yes. Oh, I'm
he's been.
Names there.
He's been doing better than Richardson, but
didn't do a lot last week. But I think Brown might get in the end zone this week.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Although
Trent Richardson's just been
I
bad.
could see where they get down there by the goal line, and Richardson, being the bigger back, pushes it in. But I'd probably take Brown over him.
Yeah. I mean,
a couple leagues I saw Richardson get dropped in already, which I don't blame the owners.
Yeah. That's a good point. Anything else you like about this game?
No.
All right. Let's move on then. It's not an exciting game. It'll probably be like the most exciting game probably this week. It's like, it doesn't look sexy. It's Titans, Colts, whatever. Let's go to the Bears versus the Vikings. This is in Minnesota, where they are not very tough. They're 2-3. They're the only 2 wins coming home. Granted, one of them was in London. Counted as a home game, I guess. Yeah, they're quote-unquote home game. Matt Forte banged up, but it looks like he'll probably play here. Michael Bush. And if you own Forte, you might want to pick up Bush. I do own Forte. I have not picked up Bush yet, but I'm thinking about it. But I got a lot of the good running backs too. I think Forte's going to be fine. Forte Moreno. I think Forte's got a better chance to play than No Shot Moreno this week. So
unfortunately, probably
I got both of those guys. So if I find out Moreno's bench, then I got to choose between C.J. Spiller and Fred Jackson. Should probably go Fred Jackson, I guess. But you'd watch C.J. Spiller rip one off. But it's a great matchup against the Atlanta Falcons. They're just horrible. But
yeah, I'm actually starting to spill over Rice, so I can't blame it too much.
Adrian Peterson should have a great game this week. The Bears allow the most rushing yards to running backs, so
that's good.
AP will it's gonna be the AP show for the Vikings. Pretty much all it is. Carlson's done pretty well as well at tight end, and Cordell Patterson starting to come on a little bit. Starting to see a lot of targets, so. Bears not that great on defense, so take that for what it's worth. They give up 28.1 points a game. It's tied for 4th most in the league.
Wow.
So they do give up a lot of points. Also giving up a lot of points to the Minnesota Vikings, though. So I expected a good game from Josh McCown.
I do too.
And, you got, of course, Brandon Marshall, who I'm also going against this week. The guy's got Calvin Johnson. He's got Brandon Marshall, like top 3 receivers right there. So I might be doomed early, and it's a PPR league, so yay me. Martellus Bennett should have a good game against the Vikings. They gave up a lot of points to the tight end position. If you remember back, first time they played each other, it was Martellus Bennett who scored 2 touchdowns, and one of which was the game winner with like 11 seconds left. So gotta like them. The Vikings gave up a lot of points to tight end. Anything else I like about this game? You're basically starting Adrian Peterson for the Vikings, maybe Blair Walsh. You gotta start both the kickers. It's the NFC North. They're indoors. You start the kickers. Gould will be good also.
Oh, yeah.
Gould is good as gold. Forte and the receivers. I think it's all good. I think everybody's a play that's a really good position skill player. For the Miami Dolphins, they're taking on the New York football Jets. Not football Giants, but the Jets. The JETS Jets. Jets are actually fighting. Both these teams are 5-6. So, who do you like in this one? I think the Jets are going to win.
Where's it at?
It's in New York.
Yeah, probably Jets on that factor alone.
Yeah, and also look for a good game from Chris Ivory. If he does play, he should play, but, if he doesn't, then you like Bilal Powell. Yeah. Miami's just horrible against the run, so they're all banged up. The front seven's not that good. So,
kind of similar teams. They're both inconsistent. Neither one of them have fantastic quarterback play, but
I do like the Jets' defense better.
Yeah,
Nick Folk.
Oh dear.
Are you there? Nick Folk, calling Nick Folk, kicker. Just money. He made like 1 point, and last week he got made 3 points. So, yeah, it was. I expect more from my kickers, especially when I was going to pick up Tucker, who just kind of went crazy for Baltimore.
You've been ranting about him for about 3 weeks now, yeah.
He should be decent. I mean, both these teams. Dolphins are fairly decent on defense. I mean, but if he doesn't do it this week, I got to drop him. Fewest rushing yards the Jets allow. So Lamar, I think Daniel Thomas is banged up, so Lamar Miller's gonna get the work, but not expecting much. Maybe the only good play on for Miami, I think, is maybe Mike Wallace, and that's about it. And he's iffy even. I mean, he's shown up the last few games, but
Camarda's playing right in the Jets.
Yeah.
He's good enough in their scheme. He could shut Wallace out.
Yeah, but if you had to pick a Dolphin, I think it's gonna be Wallace. So maybe Dan Carpenter, kicker.
Won't you just
too much on those kickers? All right, next game is going to be the Arizona Cardinals taking on the Philadelphia Eagles. This one is in Philadelphia. Eagles bad on defense, good on offense. That's why they are probably 6-5 and still fighting for a spot. They can score points, but they give up points also. They give up the most yards to receivers, so you got to like Larry Fitzgerald in this one, as well as Floyd for the Arizona Cardinals, and possibly Carson Palmer.
Yeah.
Agreed?
Yep. No argument there at all.
Running backs, Sharp Mendenhall and Andre Ellington splitting time, so like Mendenhall maybe a little more because of the goal line possibility.
Yeah, if I can refrain from starting either one, I will.
Yeah, don't like either of them. For Philadelphia, you're starting all your guys up there. LaShawn McCoy, he's LaShawn McCoy. He's Shady McCoy. So you got to start him, but temper expectations. The Arizona Cardinals give it the second fewest yards to rushers. So take that for what it's worth. Deshaun Jackson, of course, is starting. Do like Cooper in this game, and also Foles. He's been named the starting quarterback from here on out. Yep. So Michael Vick is, if you had him on your bench, you just drop him right now.
I heard Vic said, I don't know if he was joking or not, but he wants to play 2 more years as a starter and then be a backup.
He was.
But he's accepted his backup role for this year.
Jacksonville's looking for quarterback. Might be able to find some work down there, Michael. So, anything else in this game?
No, not really.
Good? All right, how about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers taking on the Carolina Panthers? Panthers, third best defense in the league. Buccaneers scoring they're the 31st best offense. So I would say something's got to give, but that pretty much tells you right there. Tampa Bay's not good on offense, and Carolina's really good on defense. I saw one site, I think it was NFL.com. They were saying get Rainey in your lineup. He's got like 26 points. I'm like, how are they figuring this?
Carolina gives up. They give up yards, but no points. They give up around 300 yards per game, but only 13 points, almost 14 points.
Buccaneers pretty good also, 13.7. So both as far as points go, it could be low scoring. But Cam Newton, you're starting Greg Olsen, Steve Smith. I guess you're in.
Revis is possibly out, correct, with an injury. If he's out, Steve Smith have to go up a little bit, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
Because he got injured last week and didn't come out. And
I'm not sure if Reaver's going to play or not. But
I'm hearing people leaning towards no, is what I keep reading.
Yeah, so, you're starting the guys you normally start, Cam Newton and Olsen and possibly Smith there. And for the Bucs, you might have to roll with Vincent Jackson, I guess, and Rainey if you need to, but I don't like any of those guys this week.
No, Glennon, I guess you might get some garbage time.
Possibly.
Yardage. I could see that maybe. Maybe as a number 2 quarterback. But
Panthers doing pretty good. They're doing pretty good on defense.
Yeah, they are.
Your boys, the New England Patriots are next. This is still the last 12 o'clock game. New England playing a 12 o'clock game? What's going on? It's crazy. It's not prime time. It's not a 3 o'clock game. So New England will be playing at noon. They're taking on the Houston Texans, the best ranked defense in the league. But Tom Brady, your boyfriend, still Tom Brady. Yeah. So he should be fine here.
I think Houston gives up 26 points per game.
They give up the fewest. Houston gives up the fewest passing yards. But again, I mean, I think that teams don't really pass on them. They're good in the secondary.
Yeah.
But they can run on them a little bit. So
like I say, they give up some points. So there's the possibility there of touchdowns for the New England guys.
Yeah. Who do you like for? Also, I'm thinking of 3 guys right now for New England that you're pretty much starting. Everybody else you probably avoid.
We've got to start Vereen. We've got to start Brady and Gronkowski. Yep. Other than that, you're taking a chance.
Yep. Those are the 3 right there that I was thinking of.
I don't like Keenum this week though.
Case Keenum, yeah.
Pats are hard on, for lack of a better term, rookies. They're hard on them.
Yeah.
Generally speaking.
Talib's a tough guy. You saw how he grabbed Steve Smith's leg on that Monday night game. It's very, very tough. I didn't know if it was a
not the
NFL football player or a golden retriever. He's all over that leg.
Yeah.
All over it. For the Texans, you have Ben Tate's probably going to get the start, but Dennis Johnson might get a little bit of work in there also.
Tate's just battling an injury, right?
Yeah, I have him in my league. I think I had to play him last week.
Yeah, you did against me.
Yeah, so at Dennis Johnson and Houston, they're 2-9. They might start. They're throwing the towel anyways, pretty much. But Dennis Johnson might get some work here too. So
got to see what he can do.
Yeah, and eventually, maybe if you make it, maybe if you need a running back, might be a guy you want to stash and could be usable in the playoffs here. Andre Johnson, of course, is starting him. And that's pretty much the Patriots. They do give up the second most rushing yards, so you can run on New England.
Oh yeah.
So Tate and Johnson, I think they'll. Of course, Tate more so than Johnson, but I think they both might get a little something there.
They give up 360 yards a game. New England does.
Yeah.
So you're safe starting.
Probably 220 yards is in the running game. Maybe not that much, but all right. Take a little break here. We're gonna get to the 3 o'clock games. We also have. The Sunday night game, the NFC East matchup, and then we also have the Monday night game for the Saints in Seattle. Again, 810WHBTV.com is where you need to go to. Click on the fantasy football link there right in the middle, and you can find all of our excerpts, including ones dating back, ding ding, to week 1, I think. Yes, there you go. All right, we'll be back in a moment, and we'll get to the 3 o'clock games on WHBTV.com, Fantasy Football Wednesday. We are back on Fantasy Football Wednesday. We're getting to the 3 o'clock games. Happy Thanksgiving Eve to all of you out there. David Bailey, I didn't introduce you earlier. Sorry about that.
I'm good.
I apologize. Brian McCray out. This is going to be the final one of the season. So, as I mentioned before, this is basically make or break. I'm in the playoffs. I would like to get a little higher seeding, but in our league, I'm not quite in the playoffs yet.
No, we're battling it out this week.
And if it's anything like it normally is in that league, I won't miss it. I'll be in the consolation bracket once again, crying. Well, Fritz Klein, the man who we all laugh at for taking every single Denver Bronco, will probably win the championship.
I just don't know what to say. I don't know what to say on that one.
I know I'm the only one that beat that guy.
No, he's 9. Somebody else beat him, I think.
Well, yeah, they beat him in week 9 when all his Denver Broncos are on bye. Yeah. That one does not count.
Okay.
Mine's the only official one that counts against Fritz Klein. So
fair enough.
We'll get to that matchup in a moment. First 3 o'clock game is going to be in Toronto. We're talking about the Atlanta Falcons against the home team Buffalo Bills. They're very close to where they normally play. So I think Buffalo plays one game in Toronto every year. Yeah. Anyway, so this is probably the game. And Falcons, oh my God, they remind me of the Chicago Bears. They're just bad on defense.
Yeah, they are.
And they're not as good as Chicago on offense. So for the Falcons, temper expectations. The Bills, they can be run on, I guess, a little bit, but they're pretty good at home, quote unquote, at home against the pass. So,
are you starting Roddy White? I'm left him sitting on one of my benches.
He's not on any of my teams, thank goodness, but. There's other options out there. There's a lot of other receivers that have come up. Keenan Allen, Terrence Williams. We talked about him.
I'm starting Boykin over him.
Boykin's a good play. Yeah, you're playing him over Roddy White. So some of these guys, it's like people keep them just based off name alone. Like Matt Ryan, another example. It's the name. It's like they're not good.
No, they're not.
Tom Brady, horrible. I'm just kidding.
He was for a while.
He was for a little bit. But Tom Brady's he didn't have anybody to really throw to once Gronkowski came back. They were fine. So I'm not really digging any of the Atlanta Falcons this week. Maybe Tony Gonzalez.
Maybe.
That's pretty much it. For the Bills, you got to love the running game. C.J. Spiller and Fred Jackson in reverse order, I guess. Fred Jackson probably be the guy you want to start. He gets more carries than C.J. Spiller.
For the first time in weeks, I'm actually going to start Spiller.
Yeah, if you're desperate, you go Spiller. He's going to be a good flex play. There's always a chance he's going to take one at 75 yards.
That's what I'm hoping.
That's what I'm fearing because I'm probably going to have to play one of these guys. It'll probably be Fred Jackson. It'll be C.J. Spiller going off, and then it'll be me on Sunday kicking myself.
Come over to the dark side. Start Spiller with me.
Yeah, you're closer to the fantasy gods, I think, than I am, so maybe I should jump on the bandwagon.
Okay.
Maybe, but we'll see about that. Anything else? Fitzpatrick, you kind of like him a little bit. The running game, I think the Bills just going to run it. It's what it's going to be. Keep the offense out the field, and that's their strong suit anyways. E.J. Manuel's been looking good. Steve Johnson, he looks good when E.J. Manuel plays. So,
Johnson's a little inconsistent.
Who's that?
Johnson.
Yeah. Start your Bills. You don't hear that often, but Atlanta's they're just so bad. 28.1 points per game is what they give up. They're tied for fourth in the most. Trying to think of the other team. I think it was. I'm trying to remember now. It was. I can't think of it. They're tied for fourth most in the league. So take that for what it's worth. The Chicago Bears. They're also 28.1 points per game. So if you can score on the Bears, which you can also score on the Falcons. Anything else in that game?
No.
Nothing? All right, let's move on to the St. Louis Rams. They're taking on. Do a little David Letterman there. Taking on the San Francisco 49ers. Colin Kaepernick was awesome last week. This week, I don't think it's going to be the same. Josh McCown is basically who I'm playing over Colin Kaepernick. I'm benching Kaepernick this week, and I'm kind of playing the matchups.
I don't blame you.
Where's that one at? This one here, the 49ers, they're in San Francisco. Oh. So that's a good thing going for him, but he didn't really do too much the first time they took on the Rams. So Frank Gore's got a shutout last week a little bit against the Redskins. It's kind of honed in on Frank Gore and wanted Colin Kaepernick to beat him, and he said, all right.
They're kind of obliged. They're pushing the running game a little bit more than they were at the beginning of the year, though.
49ers?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, well, they started with an awesome game, and Kaepernick had over 400 yards, 3 touchdowns in that first game. But then they started, they went to the running game a little bit. They got comfortable with that, and basically Kaepernick was pretty relevant. He's been doing good the last few weeks.
Yeah.
But St. Louis is kind of a tricky defense, so I kind of like St. Louis. The 49ers, fourth fewest yards to give away in the passing game. So, Tavon Austin, he had that one great game. Then he had that 65-yard run, I think last week.
It was a run.
It was the first score of the game of Week 12. But that was about all he did. Yeah. So you might get lucky at a trick play, but you can't really rely on that. You have
to be pretty desperate to start him.
Yeah, and there's really nobody else. Zach Stacy most likely I think it probably will be out with concussion. So
I hope not.
Benny Cunningham. I'm playing against Zach Stacy. He's got him on his bench right now. But Cunningham, if you find out, it's a 3:00 game, so you might be forced not to play any of them because you might not find out until late. But Cunningham, you'd be all right. I think the Rams, it doesn't really matter who they put back there. It's kind of like the Denver of old. It's like they'll kind of find a way to get it done. The Rams haven't really phoned it in fully yet, so they're 5-6, still in playoff hunt. So I think he might be a decent option there.
Yeah, whoever runs there, you can probably start.
Yeah. Other than that, I don't really like anybody for the Rams. It's the starting running back. That's about it. Vernon Davis, of course, he's starting for the 49ers. Anquan Bolden, he had he had 2 touchdowns last week, right? Vernon Davis had 1. So. Yeah.
And Crabtree's off the PUP list.
Yeah, they had to activate him.
But I think
how much he plays, and it might be kind of like Percy Harvin, where it's kind of ease him in.
I think he's going to be active this week.
Yeah,
from what I've read.
He is active, yes, but whether I don't think he's going to get a full workload.
No.
So they'll ease him back in. Kaepernick's starting to get some weapons back, and that's finally gets his weapons back. Manningham's back in the mix, so Vernon Davis and Anquan Bolden healthy, so they'll get Crabtree back as well. But Crabtree might be a guy you want to pick up. Maybe he's got a couple good games coming up as well, so I think one's against Washington too, which is always good.
Yeah.
All right, the big game in Arrowhead. It's the battle of 9-2 teams. The Denver Broncos taking on the Kansas City Chiefs. It looked like a real fun matchup before last week started, but then Tamba Hali got hurt. Houston got hurt as well. Hali will probably play. Houston most likely will not.
Doesn't look like it.
But Hali's kind of he's gimpy and stuff like that. He's not going to be full bore. So I think Denver's kind of have their way with them. Noshawn Moreno's also banged up for dinner. A lot of banged up. The week I go to the football game in Arrowhead, I'll be going to this game, and I won't be able to probably watch Noshawn Moreno. He's probably going to be on my bench because he's probably not going to start. So get Monty Ball. He'd probably be the guy you want to go with. C.J. Anderson.
Yeah.
Yes.
You don't think they'll start Hillman since he's got fresh legs?
No. Hillman's been healthy scratches. They've had C.J. Anderson in there over Hillman, so I think you got to go. I think if Noshawn Moreno plays, of course you're starting him, but otherwise temper expectation. Monty Ball, granted, he is a great talent. Don't get me wrong, but that dude will fumble at the most inopportune times. It's just unbelievable, which I love because they'll have Noshawn Moreno in there. They give him a little rest, put Ball in there. Next thing you know, Ball fumbles. He's like out right away, and then that's kind of why. Also, C.J. Anderson missed like a blocking assignment, I believe. Almost got Peyton Manning killed, and that's why you saw Noshawn Moreno in there for 37 touches, I think 224 yards,
something insane.
So yeah, it was
loving every minute.
It was a great week last week for me. So you're not going to see 37 carries anymore, especially with the banged up Noshawn Moreno. They want to try to get him healthy. You don't want to let that. I think it's just like a bone bruise, but they might rest him. I think they'll be able to get past the Chiefs. I think they'll win this game in Kansas City.
I would think so. I mean, being in Arrowhead does put it up in the air a little bit.
But the defense is what was really bringing this team along. Now, granted, they have Alex Smith look good, and I think Alex Smith would be a good play this week because I think Denver's going to get some points. He's going to have to match with Peyton Manning. But so I like Alex Smith. I like Dwayne Bowe this week, who's gotten like over 10 targets the last 3 weeks, I think. So,
yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, he's been decent. So. And of course, you're starting Jamal Charles, and all your skill position players for the Broncos. So you're starting everybody, but temper expectations with Noshawn Moreno possibly. But I think they can pass and do well here. Fifth fewest yards for the running back though, so that kind of doesn't bode well too much for Jamal Charles. But of course, you started him. You're going to start him.
I suspect they'll have to get away from the run fairly quickly.
Yeah,
the Chiefs will have to start passing, but. Could be good for PPR. Smith likes to hit him.
Chiefs allow the third most passing yards, so I think Manning might find a little bit of yards there. I'm guessing maybe. At least
that's the only chance the Chiefs have is to somehow get to Manning and get in his head.
That's the problem.
Which is possible.
Yeah, but I mean, without Holly and Houston, or injured Holly and no Houston, it's going to be tough. Someone else is going to have to step up. So I like the Broncos in this game.
Oh yeah,
to win it, but
I could see the upset.
I just wish Kansas City wasn't so banged up. It'd be a much better game. So it'd be a really fun one to watch.
If they had a full defense, I might even pick the Chiefs.
Yes.
At Arrowhead. I don't think I can.
One guy has the Chiefs and Carolina, so I mean, I'm not playing the Chiefs even if they're full strength. I'm not playing them against Denver, against Peyton Manning. So I just think he's too good. Let's move on to the Cincinnati Bengals are taking on the San Diego Chargers, the team that defeated the Chiefs last week. And they shouldn't have. I mean, the Chiefs had this game in hand, and then Holly and Houston went out, and then they just kind of went on a run. Woodhead had a great game last week. I think he's going to continue it this week as well against Cincinnati at home. So no Ryan Matthews. He's most likely not going to play in this game. So I do like Woodhead in this one.
That boost Woodhead way up there.
Yeah, Keenan Allen was great. He was on my bench, but funny thing was, it was like it was the game that we were watching over at Chad's house. I think I was like, Keenan Allen's on my bench, and you were playing him. He did nothing for like the first 2.5 quarters, and went crazy in the third and fourth quarter. But the thing was that Keenan Allen was actually my lowest receiver. That week.
He's where he should have been.
Yeah, I mean Fitzgerald just barely beat him up by like 1 point, but still, I mean Keenan Allen's a stud. So you're playing him no matter what. He's a top 10 receiver. I think
this could be I could see a little bit of a shootout. Poke his head out in that game.
Yeah.
Bengals and Chargers.
True. Phillip Rivers doing well. Bengals are pretty good on defense, 7th-ranked defense.
They are.
In the league.
Rivers throws it around a lot, so I could see a little bit of a shootout late in the game.
Yeah. And Antonio Gates banged up a little bit. The backup, Green, I think is his name for San Diego, the tight end. So he got some looks last week against Kansas City, and he might be good if you're in a dynasty league. Or a keeper league, probably not a keeper league, maybe a dynasty league. Might want to look at. I think it's Green is his name. Check that. You'll have to check the depth chart there. Giovanni Bernard and Ben Jarvis, Green Ellis should do fine. I mean, San Diego not a really good defense. They're 29th in the league, so I think you can go along with those two running backs. Of course, you're starting AJ Green, and Andy Dalton, I think he'll be fine. He's got 21 touchdowns in the year, so if you've been riding him, you might want to continue with him. All right, moving on to the Sunday night game. This is the New York Football Giants taking on the Washington Professional Football Team. What's that?
Not the baseball?
No, not the baseball team. This is the football team, Jim. All right, Eli Manning. You actually got to love them this week.
Yeah, you got to start them against Washington. Is just
terrible. They're so bad. I mean, it's just unbelievable. So you're starting. I guess you can start Hicks if you want. Of course, you're starting Cruz. You're going to start rooting Randall. I think Randall's going to have a really big game in this one.
Is Nick even going to play?
I don't think he is. So I think.
Does it matter?
No, and it doesn't really. You can probably just drop Hicks.
Maybe if he's a keeper league, you might hold on to him and consider keeping him. Depends on what happens.
Off-season. I don't think he's going to be with the Giants next year. So.
That's why I say if he goes somewhere like Patriots or somewhere
if he went somewhere good,
then yeah.
But if he went to
maybe Kansas City look at him.
Miami, where wide receivers go to die.
No, that's Oakland.
That wouldn't be good.
That's Oakland.
Yeah, that is Oakland too. So, so you start to eat.
You know how many Chiefs quarterbacks come from San Francisco?
Let's see, Joe Montana, Alex Smith, 5.
I think 4.
Dang it! I just threw that number out there. I can't name the other one. So, but yeah, it's the same thing with the Vikings and the Seattle Seahawks. They kind of just get their players.
Yeah.
So
swap back and forth.
Exactly. Good rapport, if you will. Anything else? The Giants. You're starting Andre Brown.
Oh yeah.
He's just been awesome. I think since he's been back, only Adrian Peterson, I think, has had more.
He's been doing very
yards.
well.
So Andre Brown, and I think I'm going against him this week. I believe it's not a good.
The way your luck's been going this year, yeah, you probably are going against him.
Giants are 24th on offense, which is kind of surprising, but decent, you know. But Michael Vick hasn't really been doing anything.
No.
RG3 hasn't, you know, they're good on offense. They're the 7th best offense. So and it's probably because their defense is so horrible. They had to put points up on the board.
Yeah,
so yard wise, they're 7th ranked. League. They give up the 2nd most points next to the Vikings. They give up the most points, 30.7. Minnesota's the only team that gives up more points per game. So you like the Giants. You're starting all your Giants if you can. And for the Redskins, you know, Alfred Morris, I guess. Jordan Reed, I'm not sure if he's going to be back from concussion yet. They still haven't cleared him yet. So he's riding my bench this week. And, you know, starting Garcon. That's pretty much it. So. You know, Sherman, you got him, Sherman Sound that they say, but I've never liked Marcus Colston. I can't stand the guy.
They do have the other two cornerbacks are out. Right?
Yeah, they are a little banged up.
I mean, one of them got suspended, I believe.
Yeah, and the other one I think is banged up. So, you know, I don't know. It's Colson. Yeah.
You hardly even hesitate there.
Yeah. If you need another option, you know, if you have better options, great. But if not, then yeah, you can play him. I personally, it's more of a personal thing. I think he tried to run me off the road. Tried to go out with my sister, or something like that. So. Both these teams really good on against the pass. So Seattle second fewest against the pass, second fewest yards allowed in the pass, and also the Saints third fewest in the pass. So I think a lot of running game here. Marshawn Lynch, I think, is going to have a really big game.
Yeah.
I like him. And both these teams don't give up a lot of points, so it could be kind of a low-scoring game. So you like both these defenses. Start Seattle, start New Orleans defense. There's going to be a pick six somewhere here. There will be, and it might, you know, someone's gonna pick it off and then take it in. So, for some reason, I've seen Drew Brees throwing an interception.
He does have a tendency to throw pick six every so often.
Yeah, that's my call of the week right there. All right, and kind of my bold prediction: Drew Brees throws a pick six. So we'll kind of see what happens. Run it back there, buddy. Anything else? Seattle's favored by 5 in this game, just because I think they're at home. They weren't at home, totally different story. I think the Saints is round.
Darren cornerbacks that are out. It's going to hurt a little bit more.
Next man
I'm
up.
actually thinking the Saints might take it.
You think so?
I think so. I have nothing to base it on. I'm just kind of guessing.
Yeah, I think the Saints played their last. Did they play a playoff game? I think in the playoffs against them last year. Yeah, no, that was a few years ago. I think. Yeah.
When Marshawn Lynch went beast mode.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a
totally different story. Yeah, totally different story.
Different
but
defense.
yeah, I'm going with Seattle. You can take the Saints. Saints will probably win that. Saints will probably prevail.
I'm just thinking that the Saints defense can probably shut down the Seahawks offense a little bit more than vice versa. I think the Saints offense is just better.
Yeah, might be like Marshawn Lynch more so than anybody,
Yeah.
and than anybody New Orleans has. So, anything else? Any shout outs you want to make? It's the last one until next year.
Yeah.
All right. Again, if you have any questions, you can look us up on Facebook, 810WHBTV.com, or online, and you can also our hashtag is 810FantasyFootball. For Fantasy Football Wednesday and 810WHBTV, I'm Clay Jensen. David Bailey, thank you for joining us. Appreciate you filling in every once in a while. And Toshi, the dog right here. Toshi the dog, he's also here. Jim Bly, what's that?
Brian.
And Brian, yes, Brian McCray. Happy Thanksgiving.